New Windsor, New York. Hey, Carrie, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What's on your mind?
All right. I think you're just doing a great job. Just wanted to say that once again. I just wish that I remember during Women's History Month, speaking of all these women candidates running for president, last year you had said that you think that, you agreed with me that maybe in general women make better decisions than men. And so more women in power would be a wonderful thing for every issue that everyone keeps fighting for all the time. It's like they're spinning their wheels maybe in some ways. But I don't see a woman becoming president until women get paid as much as men. So my question to you is, besides policy change, which is just moving a little too slow and is so backwards, I could tell you in New York, thing I just learned from attorney Michael Ratner, the current workplace policies for sexual harassment. What ways do you see women being able to get paid as much as men? We could just start there.
I suspect, Carrie, that if we look at the arc of the last 15 years or so, with regard to the national discussion about race, prior to Obama's candidacy and then presidency, it was basically something that wasn't discussed except in bumper sticker terms. Then President Obama became president, Barack Obama became president, and he initiated a few discussions about race that certainly dug a lot deeper than just the bumper sticker stuff. But I think perhaps most importantly, his candidacy activated the racists. Donald Trump came out with this whole birther thing. Actually, Jerome Corsi, was the first one to sell that. Trump picked it up. Ran with it and pulled all these racists behind him, and that was one of the major factors that led to Donald Trump becoming president, was the racists. And now Trump is actively promoting racism, from demonizing brown people south of the border to shutting down access to the United States from people coming from majority black countries, particularly Muslim countries in the Middle East and in Africa, and so on. And that then is producing a backlash among progressive whites, I guess, for lack of, or not racist whites, and people of color across the country. And so what's happened is it looks like things are a lot worse, but I would argue that this is actually a really healthy process. The whole, the debate we're having around Northam, all this other stuff, that's all happening as a consequence, in large part, not entirely, part of it is just the normal arc of time and change, but in large part because of the first black man to be president of the United States. So my guess, Carrie, a long way of saying this, is that if a woman were elected president, that would essentially do the same thing. It would provide. First of all, you'd have a backlash. You'd have a bunch of men who are, talking about and treating her in the dismissive ways that men treat women. And secondly, I think that it would provoke a debate. Third, I think that there's a very good chance it would lead to the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment, which we've been working on for, 60 years now. It's one sentence, no discrimination, not based on gender, based on sex, actually, is the word used in the thing. And I think that would be the biggest thing we could do. What do you think?
My jaw's to the floor.
Why?
That's what I think. That's amazing. I'm just totally blown away.
You think it's possible that having a woman as a president would produce that kind of forward motion in women's rights, just like having a black man as president has produced that kind of forward, at least conversation around awareness?
Oh, man, I really hope you're right.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
I do.
Okay,
I can't even begin to comprehend. As a woman, I can tell you, I just don't think that we're there yet.
Yeah. I had actually one of the top people in the California Democratic Party back during the primary in 2008, when it was Hillary versus Barack Obama, and we didn't know who was going to win. He was African American. He came on this program and he said, we've got to get behind Hillary Clinton, because America will not elect a black man president, particularly a black man whose middle name is Hussein. He said, it just ain't going to happen. Let's just get over it. Let's all get behind Hillary. And he wasn't a Hillary partisan, by the way. I mean, he was one of the top 3 people in the California Democratic Party, as I recall, or at least maybe in this particular county. And he was wrong. And I think that the people who say that a woman can't get elected president of the United States, I think that they're wrong too. Hillary Clinton got 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. And if her campaign had been just a little bit more strategic, if Robbie Mook had just said, hey, maybe you should campaign in Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, she would be president right now. I mean, and so in my mind, we've already elected a woman as president. But we haven't had an opportunity to have that kind of blowback that I was just talking about. So we'll see where it goes. Carrie, thank you for the call.